If you take 1 hour to build this farm behind me, for the rest of your Minecraft world, you are never going to have any more issues with fuel. Let me take you through how this farm works. So up here you have this kelp duplicator that duplicates kelp and puts it down inside of these smokers. These smokers turn the kelp into dried kelp, puts it down inside of this crafter here, and as you just saw, this crafter then shoots out the dried kelp blocks up this stream and into this back minecart here. You then take the item you want to smelt and you put it in this minecart here, and then literally all you have to do is flick both of these levers and all of your items are going to be evenly distributed throughout the chest, so you can see all of the dried kelp blocks are down here and all of the items that you want to smelt are being put up here. Now the best part about this farm is you can leave this forever. This is always going to create more fuel. This is always going to work. So no more mining for coal, no more having to do the hard work of taking the items out of a chest and putting it into the fuel, into the furnace. This farm does it all for you, so definitely check this one out. Now, if you haven't noticed, this thing is pretty complicated and you might mess up along the way, so make sure you don't skip any parts of the video. You watch from beginning to end. I'm going to go really slowly for this farm, so if you just take it step by step, you are going to be able to follow this farm. Now, if it doesn't work, go to the first link in the description, join my Discord, and you can download this world. So if something's not working, you can literally walk around and make sure that this here looks like how you built it in your world. But with that out of the way, here's the materials list, and let's get straight into this fully automatic super smelter. We're going to start off with building the super smelter part, and then we're going to get into all of the confusing stuff with the kelp duplicator and the crafter and everything like that. So the first thing you want to do is decide how many furnaces you want to have. For me, I'm going to do 8 just because I think this is a solid amount, but of course you can do however many you want to do. The first thing you want to do is place down 2 chests at the end, and this is where all of the finished smelting items are going to go. And then you want to place down 1 hopper for each one of the furnaces. So like I said, I'm going to place down 8 hoppers. And then on top of all of those hoppers, you want to go ahead and place down 1 furnace, just like that. And this can also be blast furnaces, smokers, anything like that. Now, the next thing you want to do is take 8 more hoppers and place them behind all of the furnaces, just like that, making sure that all of the sticks are leading into the furnaces, as you can see here. And then you want to do this one more time on top, placing 1 hopper on each one of the furnaces, just like that. Now, what you want to do is come to the opposite side of your chest, so come over here, build out 1 block like that, and then go up 2, and just like that, and then do the same thing here. So 1 block there, up 2, and then break that one. And take 2 redstone torches and place them underneath of those blocks. Now what you want to do is place a powered rail there, followed by normal rails, or this can be powered, whatever you want, doesn't really matter. And then you want to do the same thing here, so over 1 again, up 2 like that, and then place a powered rail there. Now down here is going to be a little bit different, but the same on this side. So you want to start off by placing down a powered rail. If they connect like this, it's not a worry, just place the second rail first, and then place the first rail, and they shouldn't connect. Go ahead and bring them all the way down to this side, but this time you want to go out 2 blocks just like that, and then go up. Place another normal rail like that, and then a powered rail there, and it should connect just like this. Now coming to the front, what you want to do is place 1 block in that spot there, and then 2 levers on the front. Now this left lever is going to control the top minecart, which is going to be where the items you want to smelt go, and then this one right here is going to be controlling the fuel rail back here. Now you want to make sure this isn't connected, so go ahead and just replace it. Again, if it's connecting like this, place the second rail and then the first one, and it should be fine. If it keeps doing this, just kind of fiddle around with it until they don't connect together. But in the end, it should look like this, and like I mentioned, these levers do control both of these. Now that the super smelter portion is done, we get to move on to the rest of the farm. Now again, this part can get really confusing, so make sure to watch very carefully, and I'll try to go as slow as possible. Hey, by the way, if you like this seed that I'm playing on, you can check out a full showcase of this seed and many more just like this one on my seeds channel. That is going to be down in the description as well. So to get started with this part, you're going to want to go to this final block here. I've just laid this out so it's easy for you guys to count. From the chest, you want to go over 1, 2, 3. And then from this way, you want to go 1, 2, 3. And it should be on that final block right there. Make sure it's on this final block. What you want to do is break that block and then 1 to the right. Break it down 1 more time and then place 2 sticky pistons facing upwards like that. You now want to take 2 pieces of sand and put it on top of those sticky pistons. Then take 2 blocks, and if I didn't already mention, this can be any solid block, does not matter. And you want to place 4 of them just like that. Then go ahead and take 2 sticky pistons and face them in that direction. with 2 pieces of sand on top of those blocks. Now coming over to the side with the chest, you're going to want to take a redstone torch and place it on the side of that sticky piston. And then what you want to do is grab your observers and place 2 of them facing upwards on top of that redstone torch. So the face here is looking down and the redstone dot is up. Then take a solid block and place it on top of there. And then take a piece of redstone and place it on top of that solid block. Now take 2 pistons and face it in the same direction as the other pistons. And then place 1 block on the side there and 6 blocks down here just like this. Now what you want to do is place 9 blocks on both of these sides. So 1 there, and then just like that. And then go ahead and take 4 more blocks and place them down there. Now what you want to do is come around the back of these pistons and place 2 blocks right there. Place 1 temporary block on top of either one of the pistons, and then take 2 upside down stairs and place them like that with 2 signs on the front. Now take 2 solid blocks and place them beside the stairs. And then you want to take your 4 more signs and place 2 of them right there. And then place 2 of them up there so it looks like this. We're now going to get started on the main redstone portion of the farm, so make sure to stick in there and watch carefully. The first thing you want to do is go to the right side of this chest and then break out those 2 blocks. And then take it 3 more blocks back for a total of 2 by 4. Now take this 2 more blocks down, and we are going to end up replacing most of these blocks. It's just so we have an area to work. Now what you want to do is go behind this chest and place 4 blocks just like that, and then go ahead and break that center block. Now what you want to do is take a lever and place it right there. Take a redstone torch and place it on the block, not on the ground, but on the block. Then take a redstone repeater and place it facing in that direction, and make sure you tick this once. And then take a piece of redstone and place it down there. This is going to create our redstone clock, but for now you can just go ahead and turn that off. Now what you want to do is take your second redstone repeater. You want to come over here and place it facing in this direction towards the kelp farm, and then go ahead and tick this once as well. Now what you want to do is break out all of these blocks until we can see those pistons, and then go ahead and place 4 pieces of redstone dust just like that. And then what you want to do is break out all of those, and then place 1 more piece of redstone dust there and 1 right there, and now both of these pistons should be extended. Now, as you can see, we broke a ton of blocks. All we really did was just connected this redstone ticking thingy, the clock, sorry, to these pistons over here. So if you want to test it, when you turn this on, those pistons should be going up and down at a significantly slower speed because both of these are ticked. But again, for now, you can go ahead and shut that off. And what I'm actually going to do is just cover up this top row of blocks just because I think it looks a lot nicer. Now coming around to the back here again, you want to place 1 piece of redstone on top of that there, and it should light up. And then place 4 more in this direction so you have 5 redstone dust placed down. Now in the direction of the kelp farm, you're going to want to place down 3 pieces of redstone like that, 2 blocks right there, and then 2 pieces of redstone right there. Now if you want to test to make sure this part is working again, what you want to do is flick this lever, and you should see that this sand kind of temporarily falls down. I don't know if you can see that. This stuff gets pushed, this goes back and forth, and it kind of falls down for a second before being pushed back. This is exactly how you want this to be. But again, for now, you are going to want to flick that lever and keep it like that. And both of these pistons should be extended with this redstone torch turned off. Now, believe it or not, that is about half of the redstone done for this farm. I know I told you it might be complicated, but as you just saw, it is pretty straightforward if you just follow step by step. Now for this next part, it might be helpful to make yourself an infinite water source because we are going to need 6 buckets of water. What you want to do is come back up to the kelp farm, and we're going to finish this now. So what you want to do is take your 2 pieces of sand and place them on those extended pistons there, with 2 buckets of water on top of those sand. Now, make sure you have those 2 blocks right there and those 2 blocks there. Otherwise, when we place the rest of the water, it is going to mess up all the redstone down below. But what you want to do is take your 2 buckets of water and place it inside of those stairs, and then take 2 buckets of water and place them inside of both of those pistons. Now, what you want to do is take 3 pieces of redstone, connect it all the way across just like that, and then go ahead and place your 2 pieces of kelp right there. Now, if you come down here and turn this on, as you're going to see, the kelp should be getting duplicated. If it is not, make sure that all of your redstone is done correctly. For now, however, we are going to go ahead and turn that off. And if you want to, you can also go ahead and remove your infinite water source. Also, I realized while I was filming that, you don't actually need this piece of redstone here, although it doesn't matter, you can have it if you want to. Now that we're done the kelp duplicator and the auto smelter, it is time to work on the auto crafter. So the first thing you want to do is break out those 2 blocks right there. And then off of these pieces of sand, you want to place down 2 smokers. If you want, this can be furnaces, but smokers will speed up the process significantly and make it way faster. Then take 2 hoppers and place them leading into the smokers. And then you want to place 1 hopper leading into the right side right there. And then you want to place this second hopper leading into that one just like that. So this one leads into there, but then this one leads into the ground. Now what you want to do is break those 3 blocks there, those 4 blocks just like that, and then those 4 blocks there as well. Now what you want to do is place 1 temporary block right there, and then you want to place a crafter like that. And if you want to make sure it is facing in the right direction, you should have the mouth facing to the left, which is towards the super smelter. Now, the next thing you want to do is you can break your temporary block and then place a redstone comparator so the 2 sticks are facing into the crafter. Then what you want to do is come over here and place a comparator like that so the 2 sticks are facing away from this comparator. Then break that block and place a crafter here. Doesn't matter which direction this is facing. And then go ahead and click all 9 of these spots. You have to do this, very important. Then what you want to do is take your repeater and place it like that so it is facing towards this crafter like this. Take 1 piece of redstone and place it down behind right there. And then finally, you want to place 1 solid block right there and a solid block right there. What this is going to do is allow all of the kelp to go into here, be turned into dried kelp, be funneled into here. All of these are going to fill up with dried kelp, and it's going to shoot out the dried kelp blocks. Now, one slight problem with this is you will have to fill up the fuel inside of here, but considering this is a fuel farm, that's okay. You can just take some out of there and put it inside of here. For the start though, you are going to have to put some fuel into there. And then if I go ahead and turn this farm on just to test it, the kelp will go into here, which is then going to be funneled inside of this crafter. As you can see, that is working properly. And then once all of these fill up, it'll be shot out into a dried kelp block. Just waiting on 1 more piece, and when this does fill up, it should turn into a dried kelp block and it shoots it out. That is perfect. This is how it should be. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off. Now, if you didn't have a dried kelp block get shot out, make sure that all of your redstone is correct, because if that doesn't work, the entire farm is not going to work. Again, you could download this exact world. It's the first link in the description. So if something's not working, you can just walk around my world and see what is different. Now we're getting so close to done this farm. The final thing we have to do is get those dried kelp blocks up into the super smelter. Really quickly, this farm took me quite a while to design. So if you're enjoying, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. For this next part, I'm going to use glass, although you can use whatever solid block you want. It does not matter. I just like to see the items moving upwards. What you want to do is break those 2 blocks there, right beside those hoppers. And then what you want to do is take this piece of redstone here, break it, break the block below it, and then place it down right there. Now what you want to do is take a sign and place it in front of that crafter there. And then go ahead and place a block over top of this repeater. And if you want, you can place one down there, although that doesn't really matter. You just want to take a block and place it over top just like that. Now again, like I said, I'm going to use glass, but use whatever block you want. Go ahead and place 3 of them just like that. And then you want to place 2 buckets of water right there. What this is going to do is take the items that the crafter shoots out, and it is going to spit it upwards, because as you can see, this has created a bubble column. Now go ahead and take 3 more blocks and place them upwards like that. The next thing you want to do is come up to this left sign here, break it, and then place 1 on that hopper right there, and then go ahead and break that block. This area is going to work the same. This is just because we need a little bit more space to work down here. Now what you want to do is take your second last sign and place it on the side of that hopper. Come over here and place down 4 blocks like that, and then place your final sign over top of that lower powered rail. Now what you want to do is place 2 blocks right there, 2 blocks right there, and then place 1 more block right there. Now the final thing you want to do is take a bucket of water and place it right there, and as you're going to see, this water should flow in this direction. Now, as you're going to see, when this crafter shoots blocks out, they're going to go up this water stream, through this, and then onto that hopper minecart there, and that hopper minecart right there is for all of the items that you're going to be cooking. Now, one final thing I would recommend you guys do is just cover up this area. Again, you can use whatever blocks you want, and you don't even have to cover this up. Make it look pretty, do whatever you want. I'm just going to build it up like this to make sure that all of the kelp actually stays inside of the farm. And I think something like that looks nice. But believe it or not, that is the entire farm complete. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to use it now. So like I've mentioned a couple times, what you want to do is take the item that you're going to smelt and make sure that this minecart is pushed all the way towards this block, by the way, otherwise they might start to flow into this furnace. But what you want to do is take that item and put it inside of that hopper minecart there. And if you have a lot of items, you can just take a chest and a hopper and lead it into this, and then put the items into that chest. Now, you can go ahead and flick this lever on, and all of those items are going to be evenly distributed throughout all of these furnaces. Now, to turn on the kelp farm, all you have to do is flick this lever. However, if you're going to notice, mine did not work. This is why it's very important to double check all of your work, because if you come underneath here, at one point in time, water fell down and it broke my redstone torch on the side of this block, and that is why my farm was not working. And as you can see, it's now kind of bugging out, so go ahead and turn that off, and we're going to have to fix the farm. So the easiest way to fix the farm if it's broken is just break all of the sand and replace it. So break that sand there and replace it, break that sand there and replace it, and then come inside of here, break this, can I come under? Thank you. Break that sand right there and replace it. Now, when I place my pieces of kelp back, and you come down here, I'm just gonna replace these really quickly. You come down here, you flick this lever, and as you can see, my kelp duplicator is now working. So, kelp is being duplicated, it is going inside of these smokers, and as you can see, those dried kelp blocks, I don't know if you guys caught that, but the dried kelp from the crafter was turned in, shot up here, and then it got put inside of this here. Now, I don't know why sometimes the tracks mess up. Again, just make sure that these tracks are right, because otherwise it's not gonna work. And now for the fuel. You cannot flick this lever yet. I'm just gonna turn this kelp duplicator off for now because I have plenty of kelp. You cannot flick this lever yet, because obviously if you have one kelp block inside of here, as you can see, they're flowing up nicely. If you have one kelp block there, it's always going to go into this first furnace. So what you have to do is sit here for a little bit and let these kelp block, or the dried kelp blocks, sorry, build up inside of here. And then finally, once you have enough of them, then you can flick this lever. And as you can see, all of the fuel is evenly distributed throughout these furnaces. Now, once all of the dried kelp blocks back there are done being used, you can either leave it on or you can just go ahead and flick this lever off. Flick this lever off, and that is your fully self-sustaining auto smelter done. So there you go, a really complicated build that I tried to make as simple as possible for you guys, and trust me, while I was building this, I even had some mess ups on the way, so make sure that you follow the steps carefully if you haven't already built it. Also, again, for the third time, you could download this world. It's the first link in the description. But that's going to be all for today's video. This farm did take me quite a while to design, so please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. BlazedMC out.